Hi guys, thanks very much for coming again to my channel to watch my new video. Today we'll be talking about tips for your interview, so tune in. So basically what is important, and somebody once told me that your interview is not over until you are in the car driving off the interview. So you really need to prepare your stuff, you need to prepare what you're going to be talking about, and you need to prepare and learn about the company before you're going for the interview. So before getting into the difficult questions that we're going to cover and do's and don'ts on what to ask about in the interview, you need to focus and learn about how to actually answer the questions. So usually the method that clients really enjoy and use is the STAR method. That means every time you'll be using your examples, try to prepare them according to a situation, task that you had to accomplish, action that you took, and the result, which was the final product and which always has to be positive. This is the way that you should be answering all the questions, so the client or your employer knows exactly the skills that you used and what are your abilities actually. And he'll get an actual feel from your experience as opposed to talking about yourself as being hardworking, responsible, all this boring stuff. So basically the first thing that is really important and then people have difficulties with is talking about yourself. When the employer or the interviewer is asking about talking about yourself, you're not supposed to tell all your high school story. Just tell your relevant experience and your education that you've gained throughout the years that will be relevant to the company culture, the position and the responsibilities within the position. Another thing is are difficult questions that candidates have troubles answering, such as what is your biggest weakness? This question is very often difficult because people often say they don't have any weakness because they think that's the way that you're supposed to answer it, but that's not true. You're supposed to say anything that might sound and come out as a weakness but actually transfers to as your strength and an asset for a company, such as referring to yourself as a professionalist. Sometimes it can be perceived as a negative because it can be time consuming and so on, but it's really going to be beneficial for the company and for the position that you're going to be. Okay, another question that can be difficult or perceived as difficult is where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? So when you're going for an interview, it's not a very good idea to mention that you are considering either this position or that you're going to go into your studies or you're unsure what you want to do. You need to have a clear idea, or at least you need to tell your employer that you would like to stay within the company, you would like to grow within the company, because they want to usually work with someone who knows what they want to do, and usually they see themselves within the company they're interviewing with. So that's what I would personally suggest. Another thing that once candidate asked me about is what he should say about when the employer is going to ask what was your biggest question during your career, like when your responsibilities. So again, you need to be really careful and consider all the aspects and reading between the lines. Try to say something that is gonna either may look not so good, but then again it's gonna reflect your skills on how you're able to handle pressure, how are you able to handle difficult situation, whether you are okay with turning to someone for help or for advice, which is never a problem. So basically all these difficult questions should target again your skills and your experience that is going to highlight your biggest assets. Another thing is when employers ask you why should we hire you. Again, highlight your skills that you're looking for in the job specifications, in the responsibilities and the skills that are desired. Okay, so last part of the interview usually consists of you asking questions to the employer, which gives you also an opportunity to get a feel about the company and the people you're going to be working with or who you're going to be working for. So please do not ask questions straight away about the salary and the benefits. Try to ask questions about your daily routine or responsibilities, what you're going to do, about the team that you're going to be joining, about the culture of the company, about any activities they might do as a team, for example, or anything that would give you, a better feel about the environment that you are joining. If you're going to some specific positions such as IT role, for example, where they can be technical, like for example printing positions, do not be afraid to ask any technical questions that, such as about the progression or any skills that you can learn and develop within the position. After that, keep smiling, give a handshake to the employer, thank them for the interview, and do not forget, please, firm handshake, not too firm though, but to kind of give them a good idea and good feel about yourself. And then once you leave, you can send them a thank you email as well, just so saying that it was nice meeting them, and hopefully you'll be hearing from them soon. And hopefully this interview will help you to get the desired job that you are dreaming of. And next week we are going to be talking about how to make good first impression in the interview. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, and please, if you have any questions, comment down below. Bye!